Children are being pulled into a war in Haiti. Some carry weapons, others watch from hiding. Many cannot go to school. They become victims and even tools of a conflict that has deep roots. This is the story of Haitian children in crossfire. Haiti is located in the Caribbean. Today, it is one of the most dangerous places in the Americas, especially for its children. Armed gangs control vast areas of the capital, Port-au-Prince, and beyond. The police forces are weak. More than 1.3 million people have been internally displaced by gang violence. UNICEF says 680,000 children alone have already been forced from their homes, nearly double the number from just a year earlier. More than 1 million children in Haiti face critical food insecurity. The violence has shut down schools. 1 in 4 children is out of school, either because schools are under gang control, occupied by displaced families, or simply inaccessible due to fighting. Meanwhile, armed gangs recruit children, sometimes as young as 10. UNICEF reports that minors may make up half of all gang members.
Schools that should be safe havens are shuttered, with over 1,600 schools affected in 1 year alone. And for children caught in the grip of armed groups, the situation is catastrophic. Recruitment of children has surged by 70% in just 1 year. And today, up to half of armed group members in Haiti are children, some barely 10 years old. We estimate up to half of the members of armed groups are children and adolescents.
To understand how Haiti reached this point, we must look at the country's history, politics, and the rise of gang power. Haiti is the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere. Government institutions have long been weak, corruption is rampant, services are fragile. When state systems fail, policing, justice, infrastructure, everything fails. This creates a vacuum, and this vacuum is quickly filled by gangs. They established local control zones. They manage roads, fuel deliveries, ports, and even basic services. Over time, some gangs became quasi-political actors, influencing power at the local level. It escalated in 2021. Haitian President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated. His killing created a power vacuum. No strong elections have taken place since. With central authority collapsing, gangs expanded. They filled the gaps, many consolidated power, aligning with political or business interests. Some elites even saw them as power brokers. By 2023 and 2024, gangs were functioning like a quasi-state in parts of Port-au-Prince. They shut down ports, stopped fuel deliveries, blocked hospitals, and isolated entire communities. So how did they grow so strong? Access to weapons, money, and networks. Much of their income came from kidnappings, drug trafficking, extortion, and illicit deals. Benefactors ranged from international contacts to Haiti's fractured elite. A key development was the formation of coalitions among gangs. One of the most powerful is led by Jimmy Barbecue Chérizier, who brought together multiple groups under the Federation G9, Family, and Allies. In early 2024, G9 merged with rival gangs into a broader coalition called Vive Ensemble. Together, they launched coordinated attacks, striking government facilities, attempting a siege on the international airport, and expanding control across the city. Today, these networks dominate as much as 80 to 90% of Port-au-Prince. They control movement, trade, services, and security. Chérizier presents himself as a revolutionary, but human rights groups accuse him of massacres, rape, extortion, arson, and terror tactics. In 2025, the US indicted Chérizier for violating sanctions by raising funds to bankroll his operations. Washington offered up to $5 million for information leading to his arrest. Though barred from holding official posts under UN and US sanctions, his influence is very much present in Haiti's political dynamics. And so, Haiti today is in a fragile transitional state. No strong democratically elected government has been in place since Moïse's death in 2021. A transitional presidential council was formed, charged with appointing an interim prime minister and preparing for elections. But progress is slow. In November 2024, the council abruptly dismissed its interim prime minister Gary Connell and replaced him with businessman and former Senate candidate Alex Didier Fils-Aimé. This was again a sign of ongoing political dysfunction. In October 2025, a meeting of Haiti's leadership in Port-au-Prince was disrupted by a hail of gunfire. This highlights how security remains under gang control. The transitional government faces a deadline in February 2026 to dissolve and hand over power, but it may not be able to meet that mark. So on the ground, the state is weak and gangs are stronger than ever. Many Haitians see them as the default authority in their neighborhoods. Why are children in the crossfire? Gangs forcibly recruit children, often from very poor areas. Some children join under threat. Others see gang service as a way to survive, gain protection, and earn money. Children may act as lookouts, carry weapons or ammunition, deliver messages, or help transport goods. Girls may be assigned domestic roles but are also at high risk of sexual abuse. When gangs battle security forces or rival gangs battle each other, children are trapped in crossfire zones. Entire neighborhoods suffer collateral damage. Violence forces families to flee. Thousands of schools have closed, leaving children without education, often for years. Internal displacement means children lose communities, friends, and stability. And as a result, the only option left in front of these children or youth who don't have education is to join these gangs. With gangs controlling infrastructure, farmers can't access markets, goods can't reach cities, and supply chains break. Health and water systems, clinics all suffer. More than half the population now need humanitarian aid. In September 2025, the UN Security Council passed a resolution which transforms the troubled Kenya-led Multinational Security Support or MSS mission into a more robust Gang Suppression Force or GSF. The resolution aims to raise personnel from the current MSS ceiling of 2,500 to 5,550 police and soldiers. GSF will have the power to detain suspected gang members and a mandate to neutralize, isolate, and deter gangs. Still, the new force has no clear deployment date yet, and many countries remain reluctant to commit troops or resources. The success of this mission will depend on sustained international backing and political will in Haiti. So in Haiti, children are not just victims. They have been turned into a battleground. They end up being human resources. They have become the casualty of a collapsed system. That's all on this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.